radio show. I'm your host, Matorius. This is part 7 of the 1796 live stream by Owen Benjamin.
Central banking scale and in a shame spelled, they were so shamed about the war that a lot of them started drinking and watching pornography, and it really was a mess in Germany. But the people that didn't fall for it did just fine. In fact, your competition...
Him talking about shame spells. He literally has a shame spell, a humiliation ritual that he does on a day-to-day basis. Well, I haven't heard him say it. Now, he might say it so much that I hadn't picked up on it, but I don't honestly recall him saying the PTGA humiliation ritual in the last live stream and part of this one.
Gets taken out by their own shame. 1 second. Happy, real quick. Happy Friday, the Noble Savage 13th day. Maybe you're feeling the weight of the pressure for the success of the special, along with the Jewy Middle East madness. Can't wait to watch. And I'm making my family watch too. Must be nice. Yeah, enjoy it. Final Boss Energy says, Bertaria Newbie here. Started watching this week. Thanks for the insights. Can you do The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down by the Band? I don't know that song, but I appreciate you. Crushing. Thank you. Oh, and as a Bowie fanatic from...
So whenever I listen to him, you could actually pay him money, super chats, and request a song, and he would actually do it. From what I understand. Which, like I said, I didn't pay attention the way I do now. But I think that he used to actually, whenever people paid him money, he would actively try to play a song. And now he just rubs his eye and says, I appreciate it. But that's what just happened. Somebody paid him money, gave him a compliment, but they paid him money to request a song. And he just flat out not even going to try it.
Way back, I have to say you crushed it. Thank you. Mumsy Maybear. It's raining here. I have a cell device and computer on WF something, both listening. Please play CCR. I can play CCR in a minute. Super chat, thank you. Fuel Hauler Bear. My grandma told me about the Jays a long time ago. You're dead on, BB. Keep crushing.
Is CCR cross-Canadian ragweed? If so, that's surprising. Which I highly doubt that is. But,
Larry Dynamite Bear, I survived the Holocaust. I left the safety bar loose on the roller coaster. Good for you. A lot of people...
Is it Creedence Clearwater Revival? Is that what that is? Probably.
Survived the Holocaust when they didn't buckle up on the roller coaster. For the band hammer, thanks, Kyle. Okay, moving on. So I'll show you guys this image. There's no way it's actual blood. So just don't get shocked. I try not to share these images, but this one is just too damn funny. Okay, little Mary Jane... Twitter's ability.
I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to take the time to censor that. Hopefully YouTube doesn't flag for how quickly that was up. But they don't play around with images like that.
To have these community notes, they're just too damn good. I just get very uneasy when things are going too well. 1 second.
And that's a thing that a lot of people deal with. I've dealt with that myself. Whenever things are going well, you just think something's bad. It just has to happen. And don't try to dwell on that type of...
All right, moving on. This is very funny. It's really ground military.
Be, hope for the best, prepare for the worst, as they say.
Operations in the Gaza Strip has been postponed due to rain, the New York Times reported. The video shows flooding in Herzliya between Tel Aviv and Netanyahu. And the bit was, we will cut off your water. It starts raining. Fuck. Goldstein, you had one job. No rain. Okay, this is a nice meme. Them, you must choose one. Me, Noble Savage. Okay, I'm pretty sure I saw Hamas production with fake Israeli tanks getting blown up, says Denmark Bear. Yeah, well, the best place to put your attention is
on him. He's going to say on him. I very well could be wrong. But I really think that he's going to say the best place you can put your attention is on the new special and on what Bertaria is doing.
It's my special.
Yep. Yep.
All right, moving on. If you want to take a look back in memory lane, we're going to take a look at back when the Zionist Jews claimed that they were jerked off to death in Memoirs of the Holocaust. This was taught in schools. But we never gave in, not really. There was that one time just before liberation, but other than that, we were strong. We would see the boys they put on those masturbating machines just drop, just die, right there in front of us. The absolute cruelty was beyond our belief. that they do these things to us, that human beings were doing it to other human beings. And we would hobble back to camp with painfully swollen scrotums, whimpering, "Don't bump me, please, just don't touch me." Were people just touching your dick? Like, people were just, like, touching their dicks? That's why sometimes it's good to just take a step back and look at what the claims have been in the past that are now cemented as truth.
Yeah, and you can use the same technique for the whole Owen Benjamin saga. You take a step back, zoom out, and see it for the entirety of what it is and what he is. And the pieces fall into place. You don't even really have to attempt to put the pieces in place. They just do. And you realize that, yes, he is a liar. Yes, he is a manipulator. Yes, he is a predator. Yes, he is a cult leader. I'm not going to say that he's not a comedian anymore, because if you go through all that trouble to put out your own comedy, I would even call Brandon Schwab a comedian. If you get on stage and you perform stand-up comedy, whether it's good, bad, or whatever, you're a stand-up comedian. It's just you might not be a good one.
Right? It's now cemented as truth. And don't forget, this is all from, all right, hang on one second.
One thing that I won't probably, I rarely call you out. If we're sitting there in a social setting, I make it a point to not get on my phone. It took a while for my wife to get used to it. Whenever I'm at work, unless there's something going on, if I'm at work or if I'm around people, I will not be on my phone. I just make it a point, put it in my pocket. I'll even turn it off. And it took a while for my wife to get used to that, to where I'd be hanging out with friends or I'd be at work and she just wouldn't be able to get a hold of me. And it wouldn't be anything serious, just kind of checking in, whatever. That's just one thing. If I'm doing something, if I'm around people, or if I'm doing something, that is what gets my attention. And so him live streaming right now and saying, just 1 second, and this is sped up. So it's lasting longer than what it appears on camera right now. It's just crazy when people do that. Now, will I call you out on it? Probably not. If I'm sitting, I remember, this is probably one of the last times that I mentioned it. This was probably a couple years ago. It was me and a group of my friends. And we were around a table, and there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people there besides me. And at one point I look up and all 7 of them were on their phone. And I might have said something, hopefully trying to be funny or whatever. They all laughed and realized, oh yeah, and yeah, it's just one of those things.
That's all from my land, and my wife just did an awesome video about how to make cheese.
Okay, so that's all from his land. So what are those, crackers or whatever? What is that? Down on the very bottom. And then what kind of fruit is that? I don't know what kind of fruit that is. The cheese, the flowers, and you're telling me that those are grapes, and those are from his land? The wood? That's all. I'm just being nitpicky, but
about how to make cheese on unauthorized.tv. So check that out.
He's been pushing that a lot. That's interesting. He used to not. He used to kind of act jealous a little bit whenever he would mention his wife doing something. Anyways, this is the Texas Goat Radio Show, and I'm your host, Matorius. As always, till next time.